Hey, this is Tuan Aditya from Lighthaven. Today we are going to be looking at a single knife drill based in the Pakal grip. First we have to understand why we drill in this format or in this structure. Don't worry, I'm going to keep the why short, but understanding the why is going to directly affect your ability to master the single knife and all of its different patterns. The first reason is that it's very easy to fall into patterns and predictable patterns of movements when it comes to working with a weapon. Especially when you're under stress and when the adrenaline is high, it's very easy to revert to the same patterns that we know. Thus, it's essential to not only be comfortable in the basic patterns, but also understand how to break out of these patterns and combine these patterns with other patterns to form slightly more coherent combinations and versatile combinations. This approach helps to bring the theories and principles that are very much in the mind, still very much at an abstract level, into the practical physical plane. The drill we're going to be working on is a single knife drill in Pakal, and is based on offense, counter offense and recountering that offense. I'm also going to be using the Pakal grip or the ice pick grip with my edge facing out. There's a whole way of thinking about edge out versus edge in, and I have made a whole separate video about it which I'm going to link down below. This drill is also derived from a separate double knife drill, a video about which I have also made, which also I'm going to be linking down below. Check that out for a slightly different perspective on what we're going to be doing today. We're going to start the drill in a bladed stance. So whichever is my weapon hand, that same weapon leg is going to be in front. My non-weapon side is going to be a little bit further away from my opponent, and I'm going to make sure that the tip of my weapon is facing my opponent. The other hand is going to be up here in this sort of guard. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a simple jab, a high jab. Now when I'm doing the high jab, I'm making sure to tuck my other hand underneath the armpit. In this drill, my live hand also has a pretty big role to play, especially when I go to apply this with a partner. So I'm here, I go 1. From here now I'm going to imagine my opponent is giving me a low thrust. So I'm going to be stepping back. As I step back, I'm going to cross back with my front leg. As that happens, I'm going to be dropping my knife down and scooping up his low thrust, and then coming up with a slash. From here I'm going to be taking a 45-degree step to the front. As I do that, this knife from here, I'm going to imagine an angle 1 is coming at me in this from this side. I'm going to step out and bisect and pull that angle 1 down. So once again, high jab, scoop, slash, step 45 degrees, bisect, pull that down. Now I'm going to take one more 45-degree step in that direction. As I do that, instead of coming up slashing this way, I'm going to turn my knife and slash across my opponent, setting myself up on my forehand side. High jab, scoop, slash, step 45, bisect, pull it down, step 45, slash, hit, thrust, hit one more time, and now as I come back with that final slash, I'm going to step back and I come back exactly where I began from. So the whole drill looks like this. High jab, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first thing to be wary of is make sure that you pull the jab back. Don't leave the jab out there and then drop the knife straight down for that parry. Make sure you pull the jab back like a poke or like a snap, and then drop that down and then step forward again. The next thing is to coordinate your feet with your hand. This is very important. So there are 3 major or 4 major places where you're going to be looking for this coordination. The first is in this, as I'm looking to do the first parry. Now I'm imagining that a thrust is coming low and I'm trying to get my body back. So let's say my body is right now over center line. By crossing, I'm trying to get put some space between me and my opponent, and my opponent's knife, sorry, as I look to parry that out, and then I step back in with that slash. The next thing that I'm looking to do is to make sure that I'm stepping 45 degrees as I bisect. So what you can imagine is that your opponent has gone low thrust and then angle 1, or low thrust and then angle 1. So I'm stepping back for that low thrust, stepping back in with that slash, back and in with that slash, and then as I bisect this line, I'm going to be meeting his angle 1 over here with that hook. I'm stepping out to get behind that knife, and then again, because I want to now go across that way, as I come up with this slash, I'm again going to be stepping 45 degrees there. So my footwork first goes 45 degrees here and then 45 degrees towards the right. So if I have my right leg forward, it will first go 45 degrees towards the left, then 45 degrees towards the right with that upward slash, thrust, hit, and now as I do the last slash, I'm going to step back so I can come back to my original starting position. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave that in the comments down below. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, please also leave that in the comments down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. A huge thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to know more about our Patreon page, check out the link I'm going to leave in the description down below. Our online classes are up and running. Our residential program is up and running. To train with us either from wherever you are in the world or to come here to Goa, live with us and train with us, email us through the link I'm going to leave in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next video.